All right, Paul, go for it.
All right. Testing, testing. Today on Quality Time with Family Ties, we learn, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
Nailed it. Fucking nailed it.
Thank you.
In 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Quality Time with Family Ties. I am one of your hosts, Scott Jones. With me, as always, Mr. Paul Packler. How are you, Paul?
Whew, that singing took a lot out of me.
How Broadway has not gotten a hold of you yet, man?
I know. Did you notice I was trying to sing flat on purpose, like she does in the scene?
Yes.
I was trying to...
And the commitment you had on Scared was beautiful.
Yeah.
I really felt you were there.
Yeah. It was tuneless, and it was heartfelt.
Tuneless and heartfelt. Hard combination, too.
Truly.
Corey, how are you?
I'm so entertained by Paul's singing that it's all worthwhile now.
Yep. We'll get to that reference in just a minute, but if you're playing along, we are in Season 2, Episode 6, Speed Trap. Now, when we started this was one of the first episodes that popped to mind. I couldn't wait to review. And watching it again, I totally realized that this might be the first episode of Quality Time, of Family Ties that I actually remember watching on TV. This one was like seared into my brain, and I think it's the very first episode I remember watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It looms large. It's one of the first, like, when we had the Tom Hanks two-parter, it wasn't the episode that everyone remembered.
Right.
This is the first famous episode that we have. And to commemorate, I'm wearing a replica. There you go. A replica of the shirt that Alex wears when he does the boom, I'm the best.
Yep.
Yeah. Go on YouTube, you can see it. Hopefully this will turn out to be a thumbnail.
We'll try to get a screen grab of it and put it up on Twitter for everyone to see. But Paul was wearing the exact same Ohio t-shirt that Michael J. Fox was wearing in this episode.
And I tucked it into my jeans just like he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, are you wearing no belt, too?
Oh, I'm actually not wearing a belt. No.
Perfect, because that was the one thing that really irritated me about the outfit was the no belt.
What is wrong with people not wearing belts? Wear a belt.
One of the major food groups. If you're going to clothe yourself, you wear a belt, for God's sake.
Yeah. I don't...
Good God.
Yeesh. This is great. So the reason why we had that Paul singing that lovely intro is because before Jesse Spano sang I'm So Excited on Saved by the Bell, there was this episode about methamphetamines and diet pills and speed. And so we're going to dig into it today. I love this episode.
Oh, that's what the episode is about? I didn't get its point after it bludgeoned me to death for 22 solid minutes.
Scott and I love this episode. Corey hated it.
I hated it. It was,
and like
my eyes got bloody towards the end.
Your wherever got bloody toward the end.
I stopped writing notes, and all I have for the last scene are 2 words, and it says, kill me. And that pretty much describes how I felt the last 7 or 8 minutes of this episode. Kill me.
Wow.
Holy shit.
It's a divisive episode for us this week.
And for you guys, it's nostalgia because you sort of remember watching it the first time. And if I remember correctly, it was on, but I was trying to get a little something from my first wife. If I remember correctly.
Okay. Fair enough.
Wait, you were like, honey, let's sit down and watch Family Ties. And she's like, oh my God, this is so sad. And you're like, oh, like your hand's on her leg. And she's like, look, Corey, what is wrong with you?
Oh, Lord.
And I'll be willing to admit, Corey's probably right about all of this as far as his critiques go, but we're coming from such a place of nostalgia, Paul, that I have a hard time not liking this episode.
I think it's well written. It's very heavy-handed.
It's heavy-handed, yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, like, I was in the middle of watching it. It made me think of like the Dan Harmon story circle, like structuring a story of a hero's journey. And I was like, this is a well-made play. I thought
Except including the two Alex P. Keaton monologue scenes alone in his room. Twice.
Even Hamlet had monologue scenes.
Hey.
Well, that's the whole thing. I don't want to hear
Corey.
Alex P. Keaton's soliloquies, and that's what it was. It was a soliloquy.
Corey,
Yeah.
he's talking to a pill bottle. That's how good he is. He's having a whole diatribe with a pill bottle.
Let's get into the episode, because I have a way to
Okay.
improve the episode, though. It was something that was missing from the episode, which
Okay.
I think would have made it palatable for me. But go ahead. Let's start this thing.
Let's
All
start. All right, so we start in the kitchen. Alex is coming. Alex is studying really hard for midterms. This is like a big week for him. Feels like it's like a big 2 weeks for him. He's got and help me out with this, guys, because I didn't take the best notes here. He's got midterms. He's got some kind of placement tests for college.
Term papers, finals.
papers.
Yeah,
And what's that ultimate, when he oversleeps? Was it a scholarship test for a specific college? Is that what
I
that was?
think so. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
some sort of a scholarship thing. Yeah.
It was to get like a young person's scholarship to get into a big Ivy League school.
But given his grades at his high school, Warren G. Harding High, where is it? What is it again?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Given his grades, Alex is a shoo-in for a scholarship somewhere. Someone will give him money to go to school.
And what scholarship requires a test? I've never heard.
I never heard of that either.
There's
Yeah.
the rub. Okay, that comes up later on when we get that scene in there. But he's studying for like 9 things. And oddly enough, it's finals week. Oddly enough, Mallory studying for nothing.
No. Yeah.
She walks around in loungewear most of the episode.
Her costumes in this episode are fucking insane.
Yeah,
She's Gloria Swanson, I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's like the episode of Mad Men when they do Speed, like the doctor that comes in and gives them all shots, and then the whole thing goes crazy. And it's like that episode clothed Mallory for this episode.
Oh my god. I think one of my first notes was, what the hell is Mallory wearing in this?
She has like puffy. She's wearing a gray jumpsuit.
Yep.
Then the sleeves are bigger than her head. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I did. I wrote down, it's in the next scene, Scott. I wrote down, what the fuck is Mallory wearing? That's what I wrote down. That gray thing with the sleeves. And it was just a mess. It was just really funny to me.
Yeah.
So, across the board, we all have a note of what the fuck is Mallory wearing.
Mallory wearing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right, so they have Steven has taken the family in to watch a documentary about the Wolverines, and there's that lame joke of Jennifer thinks a Wolverine is half wolf, half nectarine.
Mm-hmm. Lame.
I was like,
Lame
that's
joke.
a lame joke. Yeah.
Well, and this is ostensibly the B plot tonight.
What? That Jennifer watches shows?
This Jennifer watching, she watches this, and then there's a mating show later on. And
Mating.
This is
Yeah, that was the
look,
weirdest
guys,
one. That
this isn't a
really
B
was
plot.
disturbing.
Yeah.
What was funny, and we'll get, like, they had planned to watch, they had made preparations to watch that, and Jennifer was excited about it. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we get to kind of the conflict of the episode after the family goes in to watch the Wolverine doc, is that Alex approaches Mallory because he wants her to talk to her friend Effie about getting her diet pills so that he can have a little extra energy to get all this work that he has to get done. So he has a little bit more pep. And this is before 5-hour energy drinks and stuff like that. And so so Effie, who I like to point out we will never ever see in this
And
episode.
that's what I think would have repaired the episode.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
again, off-screen personalities don't work. It weakens the episode. And I think both for the Alex dating reason and for the pills, if we had had one scene with Effie, maybe Mallory and Effie were in a study group for finals at the beginning instead of this stupid Dad and Dad special. Instead of that, have a few minutes of Effie, and we would have seen the girth of her, and we would have seen the sight gag of her, which would have been funny later on when you think about Alex dating her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of that, and did either of you, big musical comedy guy that I am,
Sure.
Effie is the Jennifer Holliday character from Dreamgirls.
Oh, you're
which is
right.
the more heavy set woman.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if Henry Krieger, who wrote the original book for Dreamgirls, figured every fat girl's name should be Effie.
Oh, are there other characters that are also named Effie?
I don't know, but I thought it was very bizarre. It was like, oh, Effie's a big girl in Dreamgirls, too.
That's so
Of
crazy.
course, we see her in that show, unlike this piece of garbage in which we do not ever see her.
We never see, and she plays such a big part in this episode.
Yes, we talk about her for the whole episode.
She's the drug dealer.
Yes. And for now, here's my confusion, and this goes right into it. So it turns out that Mallory, who's going to sort of counsel Alex on not taking drugs, they tell us for no apparent reason that Alex at one point counseled Mallory, also off screen by the way, not to take drugs. And I don't know, why did they need to tell us both of those things?
There must be some weird laws reason or something, but it was just like, but she's not fat at all, and that she was saying that a few months ago she was going to take them for a diet, and it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? We saw you a few months ago, and there was nothing to lose weight about.
Yeah.
Now I will tell you, I do remember when I was a kid that my mom used to take diet pills. And she was a crazed Jewish maniac. So there is something to this whole Alex's behavior thing.
Right.
Really?
But Mallory was never fat. She didn't need diet pills. So the whole thing just didn't make sense to me. Why did Alex counsel Mallory? Now Mallory's counseling Alex. What is everyone in Dayton, Ohio popping speed?
Isn't that what Mother's Little Helper was all about? Wasn't that Rolling Stones song about amphetamine?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Well, and here's what's funny, too, is, if Mallory has done these diet pills before, she's probably had all this behavior that we're going to see from Alex in this episode. So wouldn't the family kind of be hip to what Alex is doing? Because they act completely nonchalant about all his behavior up until the very end.
That has happened periodically in the show where you figure something would have happened to Mallory, but it happened off screen, and they don't know how to react to it when it happens to Alex, or vice versa.
Right.
Where it's like, you have 3 kids. You have no excuse any longer. Weren't you paying attention the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mallory agrees. She'll talk to Effie. She'll get Alex a couple pills. And the next scene, we finally get another, again, they got a bigger budget because now we're seeing all these new sets.
Alex's room.
We finally get to see Alex's room. Paul, what did you think of Alex's room?
It was like returning back to, I don't even know what, something that you return back to.
Back to the Future?
Oh, there you go. I didn't remember that there was the William F. Buckley portrait above his bed. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We had that little closet thing that I always remember.
I'm glad he had an 8x10 of Tricky Dick.
Well, that's the famous thing, is that he always would talk to the picture of Nixon on his cabinet next to his bed. So it was like returning to a bunch of old friends.
Yeah, I remember I really liked his room, and I liked that little little stage area, that little alcove area that was raised a little bit and had all his books and everything.
The rolling chair.
Yeah.
He had a monster of an electric typewriter. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
See, with you guys, you're thinking, wow, nostalgically about an electric typewriter. I got an electric typewriter as my big present for my bar mitzvah.
Oh.
That was like a
and you were a man, Corey.
Fucking deal. I got an electric typewriter. I didn't have to sit and pound keys and hit that anymore.
Pound
That typewriter in
keys.
his room.
Now that you're a man, you don't have to pound
keys.
I remember for my Holy Communion when I was, 8? I got a Nintendo NES, the 8-bit. So we got all kinds of cool presents for becoming older.
Lucky Christian!
Yeah. I don't think they had home entertainment systems in 1940, Corey.
Oh, you know what? Fuck you. I had Pong before you were a swelling in your father's testicles.
Oh, man.
By the way, I'm glad they gave Effie the last name Blatz, just to make
Jew.
The fat Jew who lives in Dayton.
The fat Jewish girl in
Effie
Dayton.
Blatz.
Yeah.
It was the most stereotypical fat girl name you could possibly think of.
Blatz.
It sounds fat. You just hear the weight. Like the pounds are there with Effie Blatz.
Oh my God.
Mallory comes in with the pills, but telling Alex that Effie, if he, since Effie's giving him these, he has to go out with her. And we establish that she's 300 pounds. And Alex assures Mallory, it was this weird dialogue of, I'm not going to take him, I'm not going to take him. Yet he has them right there, but he's so adamant, I'm not going to take him, I'm not going to take him. And keeps telling her that. Well, she got him for him, of course he's going to take him.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense to me. And so Mallory leaves, and then Michael J. Fox has this whole monologue with a pill bottle about what to do, and then has a monologue with Nixon's picture, asking for advice.
I love that part. That was my favorite part of the whole episode.
I liked it too. It was a good bit.
I love the heavy-handed Watergate joke. I loved it. I loved him talking to it like it was Yorick.
Yep. What do I do?
A lot of itches were getting scratched in this episode.
Yep, they sure were. The itches were getting scratched.
Oh, man. Oh, wait, you know what? The other thing? It was like the beginning of The Shining. Throughout the first 8 minutes of this episode, Michael J. Fox is already acting like a fucking lunatic. He was already acting at level 10. Somehow he took it up to 13.
That's what was irritating me. It was like, are you actually foreshadowing on a 22-minute sitcom episode? Michael J. Fox is starting to act a little berserk, a little... Come on, Mallory. Come on, baby. I'm jonesing for it. I'm eating my pills. Get me my dollies, okay? I'm a little jittery.
He was method acting. He was on speed during this whole entire episode. And by the way, Corey,
he was like De Niro. He was in his trailer popping pills.
Oh man! And the Emmy Award goes to Corey Pepper.
Corey Pepper.
I need my pills, baby. Come on, Mallory, get me. Call Effie. Call Effie Blatz. Get the whole Blatz.
I think I just pulled something in my neck.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
I want to get the script and just have Corey act out the whole time.
In fact, you know what? I had thought, it's so funny you said that. I thought to myself, I wanted to transcribe the monologues and have Paul do YouTube videos of in your Ohio shirt would be beautiful.
It would be amazing.
Of the monologues. I think it would be great.
Especially the final one. Especially the final one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so the scene cuts where we don't really know if he's taking the pills or not until
this heavy-handed
scene.
Holy fuck, this scene. Oh my god.
They say from down in the living room, they go, Alex, you want to come down and hang out with us? We're playing Monopoly. Alex comes running down and jumps over the railing about let's say like 9 feet down to the floor. Now, there is only one thing I was thinking this whole time, is that thank God that Michael J. Fox is 21 or 22 years old, because, my knees cracked watching that.
Oh, I was like, I would break my ankle doing that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if something happened to him while he shot that?
Yeah.
But it's a great leap. He scales that sucker, man.
Yeah. He does a bunch of crazy physical shit in this episode.
It's insane. And so this is all. Yeah, they're playing Monopoly, which under these diet pills, he is super excited about. He gets the dice and slams them across the Monopoly board, where the dice go scaling across near the table.
Yeah,
and
he winds up and throws them to the front door, and none of the rest of the family acts like this is strange in any way.
No one acts like. Again, Mallory has done these pills before, and no one thinks anything of it. Yeah.
They also miss a joke in the scene that or unless they hit it and I missed it, which is entirely possible. But doesn't Mallory roll a 10, and a 10 in Monopoly means on the first roll coming out means you're in jail, right?
Right.
And they miss the joke where Mallory, who has a sneaking suspicion at this point that he's high on the drugs, misses the opportunity to make I'll come and visit with me in jail. Maybe it should be Alex in jail. You know what I'm saying? Some twisted around joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, really? You missed that joke? It was sort of something I thought Mallory being in jail would mean something to Mallory.
Yeah, that would have been, yeah.
Yeah, you could have done something with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Alex flips the fuck out.
Flips out over Jennifer wanting to roll another time.
Do a do-over.
Yes. And
what's ironic... Sorry, go ahead.
And she's on income tax, and we all know income tax at the beginning of the game it's $50. Just throw the fucking $50 in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can understand for Alex as a character, you know, being a conservative, he hates the income tax. So, so you would think that he would be on Jennifer's side to not want to do the income tax. Yeah. Another missed joke.
Anti-government, of course.
Yeah.
But he is pissed. Mallory takes him, and there's all these cuts to Mallory like she knows what's going on. She still
the knowing looks of Justine.
It's really heavy-handed. It's really
dead dogs know what's going on. It's pretty obvious.
That don't.
Yeah. And we learn later that Steven took amphetamines in high school. So it's like
the whole family's popping fucking pills.
Oh, man.
Brian Bonsall is off screen. He's sucking pills now.
Yeah.
That's not far off.
The writers that wrote this were doing amphetamines. Shit.
Jesus.
Alex, I mean, Michael J. Fox's nervous energy is played to peak perfection here because he is talking a mile a minute. And then we cut to the kitchen. He wants to go he wants to do housework.
Buffing floors.
Buffing floors, and then we cut to the kitchen, and he's done all this work around the house. There's a bit about...
But this starts a series of jokes that just don't stop.
No.
It goes from here until the end of the show with these household jokes.
Why on amphetamines does he just suddenly want to do housework?
I don't know.
And construction work, he installs a skylight.
Well, Scott, I know that you're very, Poindextery and stuff, but for us people who lived a life,
Wait, have you done amphetamines?
No, I haven't. No. But I've taken Sudafed before, and
okay.
you take a 12-hour Sudafed, and you're like, man, you know what? I could probably clean the walls. Maybe I'll do the bathroom next. Oh, maybe I'll read this book.
Right.
Have you ever done amphetamines, Scott?
Me?
Yeah.
No. The drugs that like speed things up never appealed to me. Like if I was going to do drugs, like I would want more like pot, occasional mushrooms.
That was more mellow stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that felt more relaxing, more fun to me.
Yeah, I can't, but I'm hyper enough. Effie Blatt.
Yeah.
Pills, baby. Mallory, bring them up pills.
I'm gonna cut the part of Corey saying Mallory, bring my pills, and that's gonna be my ringtone from now on.
Yes. Absolutely. I think both are great. I think uppers and downers are both awesome. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's nice. We're giving equal time to both barbiturates and amphetamines.
Sure.
I think that's awfully nice.
Oh, if Alex B. Keaton were doing speedballs, that would be ideal for me.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect balance.
If he was at the Chateau Marmont with Robin Williams and De Niro and Belushi, that would have been great.
So this scene gets dark for weird reasons. So they're in the kitchen, the parents are gone, and Alex is like, I just need and this is where Corey's line, can you give me a Mallory, I need my pills?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mallory, I need my pills, He needs like just a couple more just to get him through, these finals and this test, and Mallory refuses. And he gets so worked up that he grabs her purse to grab the pills.
Violently!
Oh, yeah.
Mallory is horrified. And he does, it's almost like they wanted to have a moment, and of course I know why they didn't, like almost pushing her away, like physically pushing. They don't have that, but he tugs the purse away. And Mallory is just like looks at him with this this horrified stare and says, "Never speak to me again."
Yeah. And then he gives her he becomes like a street tough, and he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, he pops his collar. He's like, you're not, you're not innocent here either, doll face. And it's just like,
just Mallory, you're not innocent too.
He's like, if I go down, you're fucked. And it's just like, whoa.
Whoa.
In a tour de force performance, like Hatful of Rain and other drug dramas,
I did that freshman year.
In Speed Trap. Get more pills, baby. I need my pills.
Ooh, that was a lot sadder. That was like the third act.
Yeah, that's like desperate, like DiCaprio in Basketball Diaries banging at his mom's door for her to let him in.
Yeah.
I did Hatful of Rain, scenes from Hatful of Rain in an acting class when I was about 20 years old.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably did the same scene.
Is it the one where they're like at the kitchen table and he's got his hand on her belly and stuff?
No, it's the two brothers in the one that I did.
Okay.
The older brother and the younger brother.
Every time I hear Hatful of Rain, there was this theater when I first moved out to Los Angeles. There was this theater for like 4 years had Hatful of Rain as their main show. Like it never stopped running there for some reason.
Extended again
For
by
4
popular demand.
freaking years. 4 years.
Michael V. Gazzo's Hatful
Full
of
of
Rain.
The run just won't stop.
That's awesome.
And while we go check out Hatful of Rain, how about we take a break?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is the commercial break. Goodbye. Hello. We are back. Corey is off. I think he's probably looking through his stash for any sort of pills.
Yeah.
I was letting my dog out into the backyard.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now?
That's the slang. That's what the kids in the
Yeah,
street.
I'm out walking the dogs.
Out walking the dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good term. All right, so we're in the living room, and Jennifer and Lise are watching a Miracle of Life documentary, kind of like you were watching Sex Ed. And it's just weird how they talk about this. Like Jennifer's excited to watch this. They've been like her and Jennifer have been planning time to sit down like all week to sit down and watch this doc. And Alex comes in and he's again all worked up on diet pills, and wants this smut off the television and why she's too young to be watching this.
There was one funny line that Jennifer had. When she first sits down, she's like, "Ugh, what is that?" And then Elise is like, "Oh, it's the inside of a woman's uterus." And she goes, "Is it anyone famous?"
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
That's a funny line. And Elise and Alex get into like a big fight, like the biggest fight. It kind of reminded me of like the argument they're going to get into later in the series finale, like just how much they're fighting back and forth.
Yeah, they both get pretty intense.
Yeah, so
I thought Alex was disrespectful to his mother.
Whoa!
There, I said it.
Whoa.
We were pussyfooting around, and Corey, you laid down the law.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He was downright disrespectful. A child doesn't talk to his parent like that.
Well, she turned the tables pretty quickly. I mean,
she did. She did.
She sent him to his room, and then she sent him off to clean 2 rooms in the house before going to his room.
Yeah.
Now,
I thought that was great parenting on my.
I thought it was pretty good, actually. I did. I like
and Corey, I'm sure you know this as a parent. You have to set boundaries.
Absolutely, and she can't talk to her like that.
Absolutely. And Paul, we've talked about how rich these Keatons are. You brought it up before with the 2 phone lines.
Sure.
We find out that they have 2 TVs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
right there with you. I have it written down. 2 TVs and then 2 exclamation points.
Yeah.
1 for each TV.
Yeah.
Yep. And remind me, what does Elise and Steven do for a living again?
Well, Steven runs a public TV station, and
Big
we're
bucks,
not really sure
big
what
bucks.
the fuck Elise does, because last week she was working in an office.
Yeah. But doing something with architecture, we're assuming, because that's her field. We don't know.
Don't know.
Are you guys implying that perhaps they are selling drugs?
No.
No. It's a possibility.
No.
I'm just saying. 2 TVs in the house. I bet they're going to get HBO when it first comes out, too. And the Disney Channel.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, Alex approaches Mallory about talking to Effie.
Now she's wearing a Japanese shirt that broke my brain.
Yeah.
It's insane. It has writing up the back, and then it's like Ed Hardy before that was a thing. It's just insane.
Yeah. Whoever was the costume designer fucking hated Justine Bateman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, so Mallory refuses. She's not talking to Alex. Alex then calls Effie. He has Effie's number. Why hasn't he done this sooner?
Don't know.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah, that's what good drug dealing is. You cut out the middleman.
And he already didn't want Mallory really to be involved in this, just as his go-between.
Right.
So it just, why would you, then wouldn't the brotherly thing that you speak about later on honestly, wouldn't it have been nicer if you just said, you know what, Mallory, you don't have to get me that. And then he just goes to the phone and calls Effie himself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. And then we cut back to Alex's room, and holy shit, this scene.
He's wearing the shirt.
He's wearing the shirt. This is the iconic part of this whole episode.
This is the GIF that we have on our Twitter account, on our timeline.
Mm-hmm. He is going back and forth, answering questions for the test, wheeling back and forth in that chair. He's the best.
Yeah. Now, Corey, I just want to know what was your favorite part of that scene?
When it was over.
He set you up for that one, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that was endless and painful. And trust me, I know about pain. My prostate's been bothering me this week. So really and truly, this episode was worse than my prostate pain.
Wow. Because this lasted 22 minutes, but it wasn't a dull ache that you could live through. It was just 22 minutes of hell.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Alex P. Keaton acts. Is this the scene where? No, it's the next one that he acts like an idiot in. He starts to act like an idiot in this one. But is this the scene where he's starting to withdraw, or is that in the next scene?
No, he was withdrawing in the scene before. Now he's taken pills again because he talked with Effie.
So he's high again. Right. So that's the complication. He was coming down. Now he's high again.
And this is we can assume this is like the peak of his highness. Like he's really jacked up, and he's painting his walls blue. I remember that one big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if the walls stay blue for the rest of the season or the series.
No, I bet it's painted back white next week.
Yeah.
If we ever see this room again.
Oh, we do. It's a famous room.
Oh,
Yeah. It's in the Smithsonian.
Is it in the Smithsonian, Alex's room?
No, not at all.
Thank
Wow,
God. Thank God, because that would have galled me.
I would have thought it would have been the kitchen with a big glass of orange juice there.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, when you're high as a kite, that's the time to have a long talk with your dad.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course it is. Like, staying up all night talking about the Beach Boys discography, like, you know, at a party, like people do.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like friends I know who have done such things.
He's dug trenches in the backyard for sprinklers.
Mm-hmm.
Which that was a long stretch to get Steven to the window to look outside.
That was the only reason for that, too.
That was a big stretch for that joke.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, Steven, and what was he doing? If it's 3:30 in the morning, why are you opening the windows to let the no light in, to let moonlight in? I'm not sure what you're doing.
Yeah, there was no reason for him to go over to the window.
Maybe the paint was, like, stinking up the room?
Okay, you know what? If they had played it that way, I would have bought that. That would have been right. The paint fumes. You want to have some air coming in.
Right.
Oh man, you know what? Oh god, I really want to get some amphetamines and paint. Like I want to. It really makes me want to do both of them together right now. Ooh, that sounds good.
You have another 5-hour energy drink, Paul. That'll be good for you.
Yeah, do another. We come back, Paul's room is blue.
Yeah, I tried to not have a 5-hour energy drink today, listeners, and by 4:30 p.m. I was dying. I feel a lot better now.
Were you like Alex at the end of this episode?
Yeah, I did a deadfall from standing to face ground.
I liked his face plant. I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying, Corey. Like throughout this episode, he's doing tons of physical stuff that's just insane.
Yeah, his physicality is great.
Face plant in the next scene. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we go. So while Steven's talking to Alex falls asleep. He's crashing from the amphetamines, and we wake up the next day. Alex has overslept for the big test.
Oh shit!
Which Alex never does. Never. And yeah.
Now I was confused because they said it was 8:20, and I thought he was going to school, and I was thinking, well, why isn't Mallory and Jennifer at school, and why isn't at 8:20? Why isn't Mom and Dad getting ready to go to work? And then I realized it's probably a Saturday, and that's when the scholarship test. But they didn't make it really clear in the script.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah, that's when you like take the SATs and stuff. Is on a weekend.
That's what I thought. Saturday morning.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex gets up, he's disoriented, he does this great face plants, and
but, I mean, he's like disoriented to the point that I don't think that that's how speed works.
No, I didn't believe it at all. I
thought it was a little severe for a speed wake-up call.
Yeah. It was like he had downshifted to doing LSD. He went from like manic to now I'm tasting colors.
Yeah, it was weird. Props on physicality, but didn't believe it one bit. And this is where we kind of hit this really weird life lesson, classic lesson learned moment. I stopped taking notes after this because all of it was just so preachy.
Oh yeah.
So now you understand why I wrote "kill me," right?
Yeah, I get it. Corey, I'm agreeing with you on everything, all your critiques. I just can't help but like this episode.
I know, it's nostalgic. I understand. Yeah. It would be the same way if I had a Drake's cake.
Oh, I thought you were going to say if we had been watching F Troop or something.
Yeah.
I like F Troop, too. I feel nostalgic about F Troop. Irish Story was funny.
Yeah.
The look on Corey's face when you said F Troop, Paul.
Now you're talking my language again. By the way, that would be a really PC show today. With all of the engines and teepees and...
it would be amazing. Every episode would be like a webisode. Every episode would be 2 minutes.
Because everything else is so offensive.
They have to cut it out, yeah.
Oh, God.
The other thing about this episode is that on the DVDs that I have, Season 2, they have promos of, like, this week on Family Ties. And then they have, like, what they would show the night before the episode. On this one, they actually make reference to Just Say No. And I didn't have time to look up when Nancy Reagan started doing that, but this was obviously something that they were trying to do in conjunction with, you know, like different strokes did it and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You look back on it, I hated the Just Say No campaign. It was like the worst thing.
Isn't it funny? I spent my whole life hearing Just Say No, and now I've been teaching children for years to just say yes.
Yes, and.
Yes, yeah, not just yes.
Yes, yeah. And so the family has this little lecture and you know, Alex kind of, you know, sees the error of his ways, and then it's left. Then they kind of have to run this into the ground where now it has to be Mallory and Alex having like a reconciliation too.
Yeah.
Which kind of
anytime Alex fucks up, he has to apologize to everyone on the cast list. It's insane.
Like an intervention kind of thing they were having, where everybody's got to tell them what their problem is. Alex, you did this to me. I'm very sorry, Mom. Alex, you did this to me. I'm really sorry, Dad. You got to make it up to everybody.
Yeah.
Very AA kind of thing.
Very.
Yeah, you could totally streamline this whole scene in like 4 lines, and that'd be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
Oh, go for it. No.
I was gonna say, you know what was interesting was the fact that like when Steven reveals the night before the final scene that he used to do Speed 2, it seems to me that was one of the points that they wanted to hit was like baby boomers used to do drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So now how do they have the drug talk with their kids? And that was like a very 80s, 90s thing. Like there was that great episode on Roseanne where they found the old pot that they had, and they thought it was Darlene's or something, and then they go in the bathroom and smoke with Jackie and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, it's like...
It's a terrific episode.
Yeah.
Totally. But it's just interesting that, like, this show, and then I think shows that came after it, were having to deal with, we used to do drugs, how do we talk to our kids who do drugs?
Right.
Whereas that is now an old-fashioned thing. I feel like we've moved past that, where it's just like, no, you just have to deal with drugs reasonably when you're talking to kids. Whereas it was such a new idea.
Right.
I don't know. Do you guys have thoughts on that, Corey?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I think that it is a very difficult thing to do. You know, when you have to admit to your children that you have done drugs.
Right.
How to deal with it. You know, from that point forward. It's just I've always been honest. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. And it seems like you bring up a good point, Paul. It's like I think that's where the Just Say No thing kind of came from a little bit, where it was a certain section of those people not wanting to have that talk, and so we're going to simplify it and just say no. Just say no. That's the simplest way we can explain it to you, and not be honest about it, not really go into depth about it, and not be realistic about what certain drugs do. We're just going to say no to it all. They're all bad. That's all you need to know. And that was, you know, you look back on it, that's the frustration with that campaign. There was no honesty and openness about talking about categorizing drugs. I mean, I remember in health class, every single possible kind of drug was bad. So alcohol and heroin were equivalent to each other.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the feeling that came out of, you know, that.
I agree. When they were teaching that program, that's really what they told you was that these are the bad things that you avoid.
Right.
And there was no honesty about the gradation of it.
Or the nuance of the what each drug's negative impacts were, you know, stuff like
and
that.
especially living in the world that we live in nowadays with the media, and there's all kinds of both positive and negative images of drug and alcohol and tobacco use. It's very hard. Everyone gets very mixed messages about it, and I just think that, you know, you just gotta let the kids know what's really bad and what's just bad.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, were amphetamines actually used for diet?
Yeah, I had that question too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
there was nothing over the counter. That's right. She gets these. Yeah, it's a prescription. Yeah, they make a very big reference of this is a prescription drug.
Right. Hey, remember this was in a period of time where it was very normal in baseball too that they were using what baseball players called greenies at the time, and they would go around. They'd have them in like a big giant fishbowl in clubhouses for Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Before games, guys would be chowing these greenies down, and all they said it was like having 2 or 3 cups of coffee before I go out on the field. Well, a little bit more. They were, they're amphetamines. That's what they are. You're picking speed.
Wow.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, guys, I think we wrapped it up for today.
Man.
Yeah. Wow.
Too bad. I hope Alex pulls through.
Oh, I'm sure next week we won't even mention it.
No, exactly.
Oh, but Scott knows next week's episode is bad, you said?
Yeah.
So tune in next week for our awful
week. Yeah, not to give anything
our
away.
Best work. The suckier the episode, the better work.
That's usually when we do our best, guys. That is when we do our best.
Hey, by the way, I just wanted to mention, we said that Family Ties is no longer on Netflix, but I know I texted you guys. I'm getting it now on Amazon Prime. So if any of you people out there listening have Amazon Prime, it's for free. So you don't have to go and buy the DVDs. You can get Amazon Prime.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. You can still play along with us.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, guys, be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. And for questions and comments, email us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at QTWFT for updates. You can also follow each of us I'm at Follow Jones.
I'm at Paul Packler.
And I'm at Core Pep.
And be sure to like the Facebook page. We like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanboy Comics. Fanboy Comics is an online conglomerate of geek media providing its readers with daily reviews, interviews, and podcasts that span the pop culture spectrum. Check them out at fanboycomics.net. We also like to thank Perry Adams, who beautifully performs Family Ties theme song Without Us. Check out Perry's music at our website, perryadams.com. And we also like to thank Brian Dillon, who created our fantastic drawing and artwork, as well as edits our show. Brian is the president and co-founder of Fanboy Comics. Follow him on Twitter at Comic Book Slayer. And lastly, Sean Foster, Fanboy Comics graphic designer, for designing our logos. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.